welcome back.
Hey, you too.
Glad to have you here.
Glad you're here too. And glad we're glad you all are here too.
Yeah, where else are we going to be on a Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning? But right here.
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock. Is that when we were? Oh, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, I
had to think, is it
No,
me?
You know what?
No,
I
I
was
don't think
wondering,
so.
why am I sitting here all by myself at 10 o'clock? And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for you.
But I wasn't here, was I?
You weren't here because we go on at 1 o'clock. And
Why
so
didn't
you
you
came
ask?
at proper.
I came at the right time.
I don't know. But hey, you know what? We're both glad you're here.
Oh boy.
Aren't we?
Yeah, we're thrilled.
We're very glad that
it.
you're here. We're also glad that Christine Dean is producing our show and is also one of our sponsors. We thank her very, very much because we wouldn't be what we are and who we are and what we're doing if it wasn't for Christine Dean. And you know, she is a marketing guru. And we bring this show to you because she is the one that's producing it. She put it together. She's got great ideas for you if you want to market your business, just your personal websites, your personal Facebook pages and all. She can do it all. It's like it's like nothing to her.
Truly, it is nothing.
You say, you know what? I want to freshen up my Facebook page. Man, she'll come up with all kinds of ideas.
Yep, on a dime. She's
and
quick.
You can contact her for a free consultation. And you know what? We're in Texas. She can work with you wherever you are. So contact her. Yeah. Just to find out. Hey, passwords. That's what we're talking about today, because we are in the process now with our computer guy who says to us,
my little black book.
Yeah, Lauren's little black book, which used to be only about 10 or 15% full. Now it's approaching 50 to 60% full, because Ira, our guy, Ira.
We need to have Ira on.
I'm going to get Ira on my show. Someone you should know.
Oh, okay.
Too.
Okay.
But Ira said there is this thing called the dark web out there, and it sounds funny, but it's very, very realistic. It's lots of hackers are out there now trying to get your identity. And so we are in the process now of changing over all of our passwords.
Well, you're supposed to change them about every 3 months.
Okay. And
do we all? I doubt it.
For those that don't know, I thought, okay, I'll just go through and I'll put in a new password. What Ira is saying is that you need to go through this process, because whatever old passwords that you use, especially if they weren't really encrypted or they weren't an unusual combination of capitals and small letters and exclamation points and numbers, if it's out there and it's been out there,
it will always be out.
It'll always be out there. It's floating around there. And if a hacker can find out, like say you put your name and your birthday, probably one of the worst ones you can do, is it's there. If the hacker finds that and you've used that password on multiple sites, it's out there until you go through a process of changing it out to the point where that old password that was easy for you to remember, it doesn't exist. And what we're doing now is we're going through this process of replacing those old, easy to hack passwords with computer generated difficult ones that the computer will remember and you don't necessarily have to.
It's a difficult process. It's a long time consuming process. We're a little behind on our homework.
Yeah,
but we need to get it done.
I mean, it's a shame that we all have to go through this, but I encourage you to do it, because it is worth the time and the effort, because, and we've been down this road, if you get hacked or you get compromised, it's hell trying to straighten it all out. It really is. And how many times, I'll give you an example that those of you that are sharing the show with us are going to know. How many times have you had somebody, let's say Facebook, they've been your friend for 15 years on Facebook, and all of a sudden you get a friend request from them to go in and be their friend. Trust me, somebody has compromised their Facebook page, and they're trying to reach you by saying, be my friend. Well, I've already been your friend, and they're just waiting for you to say, yes, open it up, respond positively. Now, this guy in the dark web has just connected with you.
It's really frustrating.
It is.
And you feel like you've really been, I don't know what the word
violated.
Is. Thank you. That's the word.
Yep.
Violated. And it's a terrible feeling.
But what's worse is now that person also has access to your friends,
right?
Your list of friends, and electronically,
and a lot of other
they go
things,
through
Stuart.
And just keep trying to reach them, to find a way to get to you and your money.
If you do banking online, anything you do online, you're susceptible.
Yep.
When we go and we purchase things online, and everybody does it, especially these days, when we went through the pandemic, we were all online buying instead of going shopping in the stores.
More so, yeah.
And we've all that much more vulnerable.
Yes.
To these things. And it's so Stuart, you were in the process. You always had just like 2 or 3 passwords that you used, and you would use the same passwords, and you can't do that. And I knew that in the beginning, but I couldn't remember them. So I wrote it in a book.
Right.
You don't do that. You have other ways of reminding yourself.
Right. I mean, I log them and all, but if we go away on for a weekend or something, if you don't take that book, you may want to go in and check on a bank balance.
I do take the book wherever I go.
A check.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, right.
Probably.
Yeah. What happens if you lose your purse or it's stolen?
What happens if you lose your phone?
Well, that's true too.
I mean,
that's why everything has to be covered and recovered and
now there
encrypted.
There is an app that will store your passwords so that you don't really have to write it down.
If you're savvy enough with your computer and you can do all this on your own, fine. Yeah. But otherwise, we found Ira several years ago, and he at least twice a year does a checkup on our computers, and all of a sudden he'll open something up and he'll go, this doesn't look good. You know, I mean, it's nothing that we ever thought about checking on.
But that's his job.
And he said that this thing is like a sponge. It is soaking up your data and trying to share it.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And thankfully we were able to find somebody that we could trust. Yeah. And he's just been a godsend. And I think everybody should have somebody like that. But it's difficult to find that one person.
And it doesn't matter whether you're running your whole business through your computer or just it's a home computer for your own personal use. You have to be, the old word was Norton. Norton had a security program for everything. Well, Norton maybe doesn't cover everything. There are so many others. I mean, we just found one called Bitfender, and then there's the Clary Utilities, and there's all these.
It just goes on and on and on. But you have to be more computer aware.
That in itself can be difficult too. Is, well, which one do I put into my computer?
Well, but that's why you need somebody to guide you, unless you're computer savvy enough that you can do it alone.
And Ira says to you, well, why do you want to spend $400 a year on that program? I can find you a really good program for $65 a year. Right. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And most of these, well, Ira, I should say, doesn't live where we live. Since everything is virtual these days, just like Christine, it's just like
if
just
you
virtual.
If you can't
anybody
do it yourself, find
somebody to do it, and it doesn't have to be right where you live.
Right. Well, Christine can take care of you if you're in Seattle or if you're in Jacksonville.
And it's the same goes with the computer.
Ira too. I mean, it is amazing what Ira does. What he does is you actually go into his service and he gives you a code, and then you enter the code and go through this process, and all of a sudden Ira is
taking over your
computer, and he goes through and he opens up all of these pages that I've never even seen. And then they'll say, oh, this looks fine. This is okay. Oh, this is good. Oh, you need to clean this up.
Or he'll clean it up.
Or you know what? Let's get rid of this old program and because there's a new version of that. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that, but Ira does.
Well, but that's what he's paid to do. That's his job.
And if you want, email us and we'll send you the information if you're looking for somebody like that. And if Ira's got the time, because he's a busy guy, but he can help you too.
Yeah, he's really been a godsend.
Yeah.
So having said that, I hope we're safer. I know we're safer with Ira.
Yes.
And
Lauren just recently changed a lot of her passwords.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to give anything away and all, but she changed a lot of her passwords to the word Kenny.
I know you were going somewhere with this.
So now she has all Kenny logins. I love that one. I even bought her a t-shirt that says that.
Stuart, some people might not know.
I changed all my passwords to Kenny. Now I have all Kenny logins. People know who Kenny Loggins is.
Which
Footloose, right?
Yeah, right, hon.
Yeah, he wrote the score to the movie Footloose.
That's right.
Footloose.
You got it, honey.
But
you just haven't lost it yet.
Well, Kenny Loggins is one of our favorites.
He doesn't make go find a computer person
like that one. I think that's funny. And people, you're probably out there saying,
very
kidding.
Cute.
That sucks. But no, I think it's funny. Don't you? You got
adorable.
You got the shirt.
Adorable. Yes, I do.
And we've been to his concerts, so we like him a lot.
Yeah.
But
it has nothing to do with computers. But
no,
it's cute.
Well, it was kind of a divert. We don't want our shows to become too serious. So, you know, there's always that element of humor that we want to drop in.
Yeah, but sometimes you need, yes, right. But sometimes you need to be serious to get the point across.
Did we get the point across?
We got it.
Well, we hope so, because seriously, for a moment, it is important. So, I can't tell you how many people we get every once in a while. And I mean, we're preaching to the choir here, because you probably all have gotten notes from friends or something saying, if you get a note from me that says, open this attachment,
I've been hacked.
Don't open it. I've been hacked. But you know how many people get hacked before they find out and send a notice to all of their friends?
Well, not only that, but you can have viruses in your computer that don't show up, and they're there and they're eating away at your computer. And so the computers have to be cleaned up every few months. Without having said anything about
every few months, you got to clean out some of your files a lot more often than that.
Well, yeah, files, yeah, but you got to check the viruses.
Yeah.
So that will keep your computer running that much longer.
And most of those programs are fairly easy. It just says, you know, update, you know, or
and you click
check computer. You check on it, it goes through and it says you've got 5 bad files or something. Then there's another button that says fix files, and it goes through and it
but it's not really something that the average person can do on their own. You need some help and some guidance.
But the average person, of which we fit into that category,
yes,
really should have somebody that says you're doing it right,
or
you're doing it wrong,
absolutely,
or here's how you can even do it better. And we encourage everybody to do that, right?
We do.
Yeah. And what else do we encourage them to do?
To come back next week.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Next week, Thursday, at what time?
1 o'clock. Yes. If you want to come at 10 o'clock and sit for a couple hours, that's fine.
Be our guest.
I'll probably be sitting here with coffee and we can chat for a little bit, but she's going to be here 1 o'clock for the next edition of Opposite Saxes. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Go out, make it a good day.